Dr. K. Ramane, Secretary, Madras Library Association, and esteemed Dr. Mahendran, keynote speaker from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and dear fellow participants, experts, and ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on my behalf and behalf of Sri Balaji Vidyapith, I extend a warm greetings to you all for this wonderful program being organized by Madras Library Associations. As your secretary was telling, this library movement has undergone a dramatic change that was in the last century, 20th century. The library concept, what we are seeing and observing in this 21st century is completely a transformation. I remember distinctly while I was a student from my schools in 1960s, then I became a medical college student in 1970, then 80s, my post-graduations and my career. Till this day, in last century, I remember, well, I used to, as a part of my MD thesis, I used to collect references. Everything was in a physical lab. I used to remember, we used to collect some postcards and sit hours together in the library, collect the references. That was sometimes exciting, but that was sometimes tedious. And the greatest limitations of this physical library in that was, there was a lot of possibility of restrictions of the literatures. Disseminations of the information was not that widely given. But now thank this 21st century, with the development of technology, particularly IT and digitalization, library is successfully moving, transforming itself from physical to a virtual or internet library. And in addition to its strong content delivery for wider audience and for wider search, which is the main objective of the library ecosystems, this is being further aggravated, further supplemented by the new concept of the library as concept of social library and other components that is giving a better ambience ecosystem for good system of library experience by all the users, by all these stakeholders. At the moment, our university, Sri Balaji Vidyapith, is moving forward along this direction. We are moving rapidly from a physical library delivery content to online content. I'm happy that our university has signed a memorandum of understanding with Mala that we get support in achieving this target. Before I share some of my thoughts, I like to quote the father of library movement in India, Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. He is one of many quotes, one which is very fascinating to me and to all of you will be. He tells, for every reader, his or her book, and for every book, it is his reader. These are the two important components, core points in any library, either physical library or virtual or internet library. If I am permitted, this library services, libraries can be broadly divided into 4 types. That is based on the mode of services. It could be academic. It could be academic library in the colleges, special library, or public library, or national library. When we think of academic library, it means it is the library which is attached to academic institutions like schools, colleges, and universities like ours. Whereas special library is a focused which caters to a specific group of people, such as the employees of an organization, of a college, of a university. Whereas public library, this was a very strong movement in the last century in India and elsewhere, when this public library concept was mooted, also was called circulating library. This is a library which is accessible by the public and is usually funded from the public sources. And as your secretary has nicely told, the concept of national library, which is becoming now much more virtual, is a library specifically established by the government for wider cataloging of the information and the system to facilitate the information. Nevertheless, all the type of library, whether academic library or national library or public library or special library, they have one common point. The common point or the key point that is common to all these four libraries is that it acts as the bridge among the various types of library, that is information literacy. According to the American Library Association, information literacy represents a set of abilities requiring individuals to recognize when information is actually needed. The endeavors have the ability to look, evaluate, and this information literacy, the information literacy tries to empower people in all walks of professionals, all peoples from different personal lives to seek, evaluate, use, and create information effectively to achieve their personal, social, occupational, as well as educational goals. Of these, this academic library is specifically empowered for the stakeholders, that is students and faculties, that empowers the students and faculties to reach to their educational goals. In this line of reaching educational goals, this academic library plays a key and important role, like right to live, right to food, like right to health. Information literacy is a basic human right in a digital world, and this promotes social inclusions. When we'll try to analyze the broad landscape of information literary landscape, we have different landscapes. One is academic literacy landscape that promotes, that facilitates learning development. Another is new literacy that includes, that promotes multimodal learning. And another is media literacy, which empowers critical use of non-textual communication format. And above all, digital literacy. That is the most important component of this 21st century digital movement, IT technology. This literacy, among others, gives a lot of emphasis on ethics, e-safety, and computer literacy and functional skills being promoted. But we must understand this information literacy in this 21st century with the backdrop of a changing library structure platform has many challenges. Of many challenges which I can identify, one most important challenge is there is a need to develop awareness of how we engage with the digital world. This is a vast, big world, digital world, but we must be equipped, we must be knowledgeable to develop how to engage with this expanding digital world. How in this age of information explosion, we must find out the means, the meaning of the information, in how we'll select from this world of information explosion. And in this ocean of information, we must know and we must be told. And that is the biggest challenge of the library movement, how to articulate what kind of information we require. And above all, when we have got vast source of information, vast area of information, landscape is emerging, re-emerging and expanding phenomenally, then how to use this information ethically without translating into ethical issues of different stakeholders, the students, the faculties, the providers, and other components. And in this age of 21st century, we must understand communication is going to play a vital role. The communications, the role of communication, how we communicate among our colleagues, how we communicate with students, how we communicate with all the stakeholders in our professions, and how we communicate with the people effectively in this working environment in the large populations. Hence, the communication skill needs to be very much strengthened, and this will be addressed so that we can reach, we can deliver the accurate information with good communication skill. I think library movement, now being internet or digital library, should focus on this communication skill as a part of their curriculum for better communicating with all the stakeholders in the library service. And the most challenge which we feel, even as the head of the institutions, as head of the universities, is completely different. As I gave my example, when I was doing my MD in microbiology in Institute of Medical Science, Varanasi University, it has an excellent physical library, one of the best libraries in that part of the country. We used to go, collect our references, collect our journals for journal club or for writing thesis. But nevertheless, the area, the accessibility was so less. Even after spending, you can get only few articles of your interest. But now, compared to that in 1980s, now we compare the scenario in 2021. It's vastly changed. We cannot imagine the way we are getting information. By a tip of the finger from the internet, you can find each and every type of information that's being available in. But I am sure all of us, all of experts, all of the fellow participants in this program, all of us know that information and knowledge are two different things. This is a bigger challenge for all of us. How to evaluate the credibility and authority of these informations while being available. Since this is a challenge, we must try to understand the difficulty, challenge faced by the juniors, students, research workers in the beginning career. We must show them the way. We must devise the means and please differentiate information from knowledge. And again, this background of so wide volume of information, please, let's make every effort. And that should be the, I think, responsibility of this library movement in country and elsewhere to tell youngsters and to mentor the people who are using this library service, have a system that the information they're getting is of authority, is of credibility. Otherwise, I have got my apprehensions that many of the people, even they get information, may not interpret correctly. Authority is constructed and contextual. But in that, we know information has value, but knowledge is through research. That is an inquiry. So we must have different concepts to promote the information literacy among all the youngsters and even the seniors who have been migrated from 20th century, 21st century, to re-educate them about this concept of interpretations of the creditability and the authority of the information. And we must know that we must accept the library may become virtual, the may library become internet. But I have got a feeling we must have the ways and means to make a system that will give a library ecosystem. Library ecosystem is the most important thing that it should give, is a interconnected network of all types of library workers, volunteers, and associations that provide and facilitate library service for community members, families, millennium learners, college and university communities, local, state and government offices, non-profit and other organizations with specific information needs. This is a most vital component in this 21st century with this changing scenario, how to strengthen the library ecosystem. I'm confident Mala will come in way to devise the means and methods to be the leaders, how to strengthen this library ecosystems in this context of the changing scenario in the 21st century. Because, and while we try to define a library ecosystem, we must understand there are 4 pillars of library ecosystem. One important pillar is leadership. Second, the most important, which we cannot neglect or overlook, is the communications. And third is the sustainability of the ecosystem which we are trying to create. That should be continuous. That should not be sporadic, or that should not be academic. And to achieve all these things, we must try to work together. We must try to have collaborations so that we learn best practices from others and we can share best practices to others. Hence, collaboration is the most important component in sustaining the library ecosystem for all stakeholders. So the lot of librarian managers who are now who are heading this 21st century library, I hope they are much more competent. they are not trained. But in addition to that, they should possess innovation. They should have the creativity, imaginations, vision, and commitment for contributing to a new ecosystem in library in this 21st century. Because this 21st century, the library ecosystems is changing rapidly. And while we are migrating so-called physical library, when we land on this 21st virtual net library, we must be patient with lot of innovations. We must expose ourselves to flexible imaginations, creativity, and above all, as all of us know, is our commitment that makes a good sustainability of the communication ecosystem in this case. And as I said earlier, again, in many occasions, in different fora where I have the opportunity to address on different occasions, always I'm trying to emphasize the communication skills that is applicable not only health sector, any professional, any services like libraries. We must have the facility system for professional skill-based communications. We must have a networking skills. We must have staff communication skills, among others, to provide a good system of systems. And as to conclude, we must understand the implementations and working of convergence involves academic library, IT service, and student service. These are three important pillars of the library service. Hence, it is but essential co-design work with academic staff and students on library space and service design. There is a need for collaboration with academic department and academic library in library consortia working collaboratively on shared library management system and joint procurement. Because we must understand, we must accept anything when we adopt technology to our system. Technology does not come free. Technology becomes an investment, it becomes financially. So same thing is IT technology. We are availing these facilities with lot of investment in terms of finance. And when it comes to investment in terms of finance, as the head of the university, I understand that we can do in a unilaterally. We must try to work collaboratively on shared library management system and joint procurement so that with the restricted finance available, we must have a wide audience and wide systems. Hence, dear friends, sustainable thinking refers to the alignment of library's core values and resources with the local and global communities' right in all areas of library operations and outreach services. This is tremendously developing all the areas. Hence, we must, because now we are moving forward with smart library, as all of us are talking now, because the main objective of the smart library is that the life reality has become mobile. Any service you provide, if it is provided in a platform like mobile, it will be more accessible to all, particularly to the younger generations, younger students and faculties. So this is the most important objectives, to why the library services, the smart library in a digital ecosystem is trying to be provided in a digital mobile systems, because this mobile, which are become integrated part of the life, in that platform, if we put the smart library, it provides innumerable and accessible digital collection drawn from different categories. That is why it's becoming more and more popular. Again, I congratulate Madras Library Association for organizing such a wonderful program. I am really honored and privileged to be invited to amongst the galaxies of the library experts who are trying to lead the digital library service from the virtual to the virtual network service in India and other parts of the country. And we have got so much of talented and skilled manpowers with whom we can work together and make a sustainable library ecosystem for all of us. Because I look forward. We have an experience or different experience, but let's provide a good, new, timely experience for our students because they're the future of our country. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you, sir. Such generosity in your words, such generosity. Thank you for your generosity in your words. Actually, we thought when we were giving a time to Professor, we were giving a larger time. Then we thought Sir would have to take a lot of time from his busy schedule because that too, medical is something that is very busy right now. The busiest people right now are people those who are spending their time in medical and medical research. And I understand the kind of time that you have taken. You have contributed to the ecosystem. You have mentioned about the ecosystem, the sustainability of the ecosystem, and such a holistic knowledge that you gave, sir. Already we are seeing in the chat box that our participants have gained a lot of knowledge. They have actually acknowledging your speech, and extremely thank you for coming, sir. It's such an honor and privilege for us to have you. Thank you, sir. We are looking forward.
Thank you very much, sir. You shared many regarding the digital library services, everything, and with besides busy schedule, we made it come here and participated and delivered the lecture on digital library services and networking services, especially internet, etc. Really, sir, Vice Chancellor, sir, we are once again thanking you for the opportunity given for Madras Library Association to join with you. We have, executed with MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. Your university, Madras Library Association, is planning to organize in commemoration of the 95th birthday of Dr. S.R. Raghunathan. 9th, we have planned to conduct a program joining with your university, sir. And it will be a webinar like you also please join with us and make it success. Thanks for your very inspirative speech, sir. Very thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, Nityanandam, sir. Thank you, Nityanandam, sir, for contributing.
Your alarm set for tomorrow at 7 a.m.
So at the same time, I also now move on quickly to the next this one, and also before moving on to the next session, I want to contribute. Professor Parija sir mentioned about public libraries, and today was the birth date of Ayanki Venkat Ramaya sir, who was born in 1880, and who was the who's the as we all know, he's the architect of the Indian Public Library. So his birthday is today, and today is also a special day for us. Quickly, we are moving on to the next section. I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Mahendra N. Jadhav, sir. Before that, I would like to introduce sir to you, because right now, as we see, especially the libraries are very busy. And when it comes to especially institutions of national interest like IITs and IIMs, their libraries are extremely busy. But then Dr. Mahendra Singh sir also have taken this time out, saying that, yes, of course, I'm going to be there. I'm going to share my views on this changing library and how and why. And before giving the session to sir, I quickly want to introduce also, because it's our privilege and honor that I want to introduce sir to our participants. Dr. Mahendra N. Jadhav, sir. He's librarian, Central Library, IIT Madras, Chennai. And sir has accomplished his contribution towards, in terms of library and life science, is immense. And he's also been part of various important committees in India in terms of creating digital content, in terms of dispensing those content to various institutions. And sir has also has worked before in Shivaji University, Kolhapur. So he studied from Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Maharashtra. Dr. Jadhav sir has got more than 25 years of experience in library professional in various organizations, which includes Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, and Directorate of Wheat Science Research, that ICAR, Jabalpur, and IIT Bombay, and now sir is serving in IIT Madras. And today he's going to share his knowledge to the other members of our committee. And at the same time, sir is also have been part of various professional societies and published many papers, journals, conference proceedings, and chapters and books. And he has served as a member of many committees, as I told you earlier, INDS, INDEST, NMEICT, ETD, and Echo Sindhu Consortium, etc. And he was also the he's also the nodal officer for NDL and Indian Research Information Network Systems. With his vast knowledge and with the knowledge experience, sir is also contributed. He's also going to share his experience in terms of the changing library and how and why. Sir, the platform is yours. It's such an honor to we can't wait to hear from you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Venkatesan. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you, sir. Thank you.
nice
Thank you for
introduction.
coming.
Sir, good morning, sir. Your voice is audible. You can proceed.
Yeah,
You can proceed.
yeah. Thank you very much for nice introduction. Good morning to all, and we really delay actually due to technical glitch. And I am delighted, and it is a great honor to deliver keynote address in Nimbus Tech Talk Knowledge Series before the August gathering. Today's chief guest, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija, Vice Chancellor of Bharati Vidyapit Pondicherry. He has almost covered many things. Mr. Venkatamani also covered. And thanks to Dr. Nityanandam, President Mala, Venkatamani's General Secretary, and Bakairasu and other Mala members, office bearers. And I also thanks to GIST and Nimbus team, Mr. Venkatesan, Mohammed Soel, Avinash Vijay Kumar, and Karthikeyan, for giving me an opportunity to speak before you. See, changing libraries, these are the now we realize actually during COVID pandemic 19, how change library and how we provide services, that really it was 1.5 years. We know that how it was means earlier library and how we just serve during this time. So entire education system in India, or maybe in what, or they go on online teaching.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Maybe network issues. Sir.
IT.
Maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe there are
No.
possibility there might be little network issue. So sir will come back.
Yes, what happened?
Yes, sir. The voice was stuck for a minute. That because maybe network issue. Please go ahead, sir. Now we can hear you.
Okay, so now you see during the changing libraries, now during the pandemic, many librarians they face challenges because many librarians how we can overcome with this suddenly when lockdown declare, and these are the many many means resources, many services how can provide, and many of them actually they face the massive budget cut and communication with users, how you can go online meetings, web services, social media, and how you can prepare new guidelines within a short time to provide services. And most of the universities they got actually online teaching objects, and how you can procure the online resources to services to provide services to our users. So basically, as per my knowledge, actually these are the changing happen. Basically, when you see that actually industry 1.0, library 1.0, and web 1.0, so if you see from 1980 to 2000, and then after that, so it whenever industry grow, industry invention comes, that definitely it go to industry ICT technology, and that go to publishing industry. They also change their model, the business model, product, and naturally we have to by default the library has to acquire that. The library has to go with that. And when the changing this society, then we have to see the users are very active nowadays. They are smarter than the means librarians. So means how you have to reach with them, how you can means catch with them. With that pace, how you can means how you can fulfill their requirement, their needs. So basically, library web 1.0 to live now we are in web 4.0. When you see that actually in 1980 to 2000, that was PC era, and after that web 1.0, World Wide Web came, and later on web 2.0, that was semantic web, and also many things was indexing, abstracting, or maybe smart, you can say like indexing, abstracting, like natural processing language. So all these things development happen on that. Definitely, actually, most of the library have implement that. So this was actually when the academic libraries definitely and the higher education libraries they have to implement that. Then now web 3.0 come that time the way this all are actually semantic web. So now we are in web 0.40. Now this is all web voice, everything on websites, means clouds on web. So there will be not like clients or models. You have to stuck somewhere. You have to go through that. Everything online. So these are the actually shifting paradigm from the 1980 to now. Now you see 1980 earlier when library automation was started, everybody was behind automation. So that time all developed countries was actually ahead with India 15 to 20 years. But now you see now till web 4.0 now almost all of the most of the Indian good universities libraries they're at par with the means developed countries. So because they have data repository, they have resources, they have means they providing web services, social media, use technologies like RFID, machine learning, artificial intelligence, virtual learning, open source, open access, and cloud computing. So these are the all changes slowly is happen and we implement that. So now we not that much you can say behind the compared to developed countries. And one example I want to give that actually how we change that like in initial stage there was informatics, diplomatic, then we change symptomatic, then we come cybermatic, then webomatic. So now today we are in the age of altmatrix. So most of the article level actually earlier it was means you can say collection, books and chapter. Now up to article level actually what people talking about my article who refer that up to that level you can trace that. So this now in article we are in altmatic age. So now for this actually how you can means implement that definitely from publisher side they are changing the technology they're acquiring knowledge they're acquiring this they're acquiring knowledge from authors they're publishing that and they using technology but actually how we can provide services to the users. So library also should be smart actually that's why the smart library concept came. When the smart libraries were the smart cities come smart libraries also come. The smart libraries see so smart library not only with the collection development you cannot only buy or subscribe something and you can just have that means more collection like you are not smart. If you invest something how you can get return on investment, how you can provide service to the users, how your user can get benefit from that, how whatever money you spend for means subscribing or purchasing the art these are the resources, how you can use the services to users. Like smart libraries is a multi academic research and cultural technological activity center. So it is not only simply library. So these are the academic research, culture, and technological service centers that serves to fulfill the needs of the information needs of the users. So nowadays, actually, users are very active. They are smarter than the librarians. So now, when now see that time 1930, Ranganathan actually they derived the 5 laws of library science. That time only he used books, but nowadays actually these are the you can say OCLC chairman. He was a director that time. He just like and today's means environment he just mold that laws like libraries serving humanities respect all forms of knowledge because that time only books were there. Now we have all knowledge like patent database standards e-journals e-books all means teaching learning materials so that we have to respect our knowledge, use technology intelligently to provide services. We cannot simply say that I will just provide the physical knowledge. It is not possible in today's environment because you have to act or you have to serve with these recent trends and you have to move it along with the recent environment and these are the action developments. And protect free access to knowledge because many of them users actually they many publishers you won't get knowledge unless and until you purchase or subscribe. But many of the actually open source movement activities or maybe publishers they come with open access and they want to share that. So these are the actually and you honor the past means whatever you have to honor that you and to create the futures. So when you see when olden days what library even though we are hybrid libraries, we not thrown the books, we not thrown the literature, we not thrown all reports early data. We just keep that. We just want to convert the digital. We respect that actually old. We honor that and we want to provide the services through using by technology. So that way actually these laws is molded. So now maybe you see now most of the libraries are automated, but in future tomorrow, definitely most of the publishers they coming with future of libraries is open You do not have to buy server, hardware, everything. You will just have to subscribe the library. You don't have to purchase, you just pay that. It will be automatically cataloged in that library. You just provide data, that data will be entered in the library. You can only access online. Your user can search database, integrated LMS will be there. They can search, they can access, no need that library LMS in your premises. So that is folio called in future libraries is open. So that may come. And you see augmented virtual reality and makerspace, smart spaces library. So these are the today's actually technology are being used in the many libraries. Like you get 3D object recognition, local map, virtual maps. So many you can, even though some users without reaching library, they can through virtual tour, they can see all entire collection. They can read an entire book. Like cloud recognition is there actually, all materials stored in clouds, smart glass solution, customer anticipation. So most of the 3D printing, so these are the actually smart spaces. Like professor told that actually libraries are means now multi-activity academic centers. So all these things nowadays requirement in the library. Then only you cannot say my library only physical. Then only you can sustain with the present environment and you can just provide services to users. Robotics, smart spaces, you can use the spaces smart way. So like means you can mechanical, electrical, any student they can come, they can like Singapore library give drama, other library have some theater, something like auditorium or maybe maker space, they can come, they can robotic lab. So all these things nowadays, most of the major university libraries, they are acquiring, they are using providing services. And these are the today's change, I can say. And due to these changes, most of the publisher also publishing industry also got impacted. Because more literature, more sources of databases, more downloads, open access, and more restriction on content, DRM free, more audio videos, retro conversion, how you can convert old record to digital, and new business model. Because see, when technology change, source change, you have to go with today's technology. How you can control that? It should not be free to anybody, or maybe open that. So like metrics also play an important role today. Social media is there. Because you see nowadays ranking system is coming in academic or maybe libraries. So the librarian is playing very important role for collecting retrieving data. Now today's age is the data science. So now data science is there means when you are virtually providing services, you detailed content, you are means acquiring, storing, and providing services. So then there is always analytics there. There is usage will be there. You have to analyze that. Analyze that means you have to store data, you have to visualize data, you have to like student data, faculty data, publication data, academic integrity, how my scholars, how my faculty publishing, which project which he has, what he did on that project, where research going on, how is data, who actually where is my department going, how research going, my how my library can support them. So these are the actually all these things actually librarians have to do. He has to curate data, he has to work as a curation, he has to standardize data, and then he has to preserve data. Because when you're working on digital media, digital content management, and tomorrow suppose actually you want to preserve data, then you have to be put in standardized format. Because every year, every day technology change, so that whatever your content is there, that should be visible in future. So that the library has to play an important role for preservation for that. So now there are before 20 years there was open access movement. Because see, when most of the open access movement supporter, because when you are publishing article, writing books, that is copyright go to author and maybe publisher, because author only have only access right. But when you subscribe in that library, you only access that, but money goes to the publishers, royalty go to publisher and authors. So in that open access movement, they started in 2000, Peter Superbug. In then actually like green open access, gold open access, then hybrid open access. Okay, like there are then after that the evaluation of the licensing, Creative Commons, CC by the various license come, and that through licensing actually the author allow their content should be visible to researcher. They can modify, they can create, and they can use for future research work. And you see in many publishers, they come with not only library change, because see, whenever the technology change, library depend on the publishers. Publisher also depend on technology. When in technology come, when the author or maybe these are the open access movement come. So many publishers, they want to publish their open access. So publishers also come with the actually read and publish model. These are new read and publish model. When you read the content, you have to pay some fees. When you publishing in the journals, you have to pay some publishing fees. These are read and publish fees. They're real and publish access. So maybe in a certain time you will be get free all contents. So neither some fee you have to pay. Another is a plan S is a new future is there. Actually, most of the funding agencies, when most of the research going, most of the funding agencies they providing funding for the research. After funding output, suppose they publish in journals article that research output is not visible to common man because that is go beyond paywall. So then common man cannot search that. So that's why the funding agency, all funding agencies come together and they form the plan S. Plan is actually when they granting, I think they approving the grant. They have clause, first clause that after the research result, you have to open in open access. They will pay the publishing fee. So these are the most of the European countries they gone, they sign in that, and 2021 onwards they going from Plan S. Most of the libraries, universities, they are under Plan S compliance. So most of the you will get open access research for that the Plan S compliance. And now you see all this is technology, all this we see nowadays during pandemic. Really, those university technologically very means they develop themselves. They are really able to sustain during pandemic. But what about the libraries? They do not have any technical support. They do not have that much funding. They do not have resources. So really, it was very difficult for them to librarian for challenging. So like means when today there is a Nimbus, you can say webinar is there on Nimbus. So Nimbus, just I want to say something on Nimbus. Nimbus is indigenous product, like our Prime Minister say, make in India, made in India. So this is one of the indigenous product, Nimbus. We you see now when I just maybe in IIT system more than 25 years, so I know most of the European American companies only dominate for the publishing industry. So they have all each on an ebook platform, everything technology platform. But this is first indigenous platform come to serve India. Or maybe they are all they very good platform and most of the countries outside India also they have subscribed that many platform. Nimbus really is transform your library. And it is like you can say it is digital content. They may subscribe or may subscribe content open access. They give open access, and they give single search, single window for searching databases. One single search you can entire access you can get. There is no need for users to spend each and every one like that. Okay, and there is off-campus remote access, mobile application. They give that actually with security, and they also use actually when there is a space we do not have to buy in hardware software. The cloud space is there, and this based on model and source design centralized. And one other thing, one interesting thing is that actually they use open standards protocols and architecture because see, tomorrow when the standards change because open standards always when the change they see that old standards should be compatible and that devices or means resources should be visible. One example like Microsoft they have, so you might be knowing MS Word very old days. Okay, today if you want to means MS Word file open in Windows 10, it may not work because that is proprietary because they not mean it is not compatible. You have to add patch and something, then only you can open that. But you see Unix and Linux that time it was text software, today also it is opening that is called open standards. So this Nimbus is based on open standards and there's any type of document they taking care, not only books. So this any better type of document they're taking care and really it is saving the time. And this Nimbus really means professor actually you can say Parija told that 5 laws of library science Ranganathan derived in 88 years before. And today I just want to say that really Nimbus means fulfilling the laws of library science. There was a books Ranganathan told, but now that time books were there, but now today there are many contents. See, all content actually, it's sir means books are for use, we told, but these are I can say documents. All documents are for useful. Every documents have users. Every user has a document. Once actually you subscribe Nimbus or subscribe Nimbus, all your user will get access. All Nimbus, or you can control that what you want. Even though actually it is saving time because these are the single search index. You can with one command, you can search entire database. You do not want to go to ACS, Cambridge, Oxford, or elsewhere or Wiley, anywhere you do not want to go each and every website, search that. It will harvest data, it will search from all database and it will give the result. Even though you can refine the result, you can refine the search exactly what you want, that you can just do that. And one thing library is growing organization, it was fifth law. Definitely this Nimbus is going to serve that. Now there is a cloud storage. Whatever resources adding, that is there is no problem for space. Because you do not want any building or you don't want any infrastructure because cloud is there actually when you see the entire building or maybe entire building collection 2 lakh books will come in one DVD or maybe in pen drive. So nowadays storage there is a technology increasing. Maybe in maybe after few time it may be very cloud storage will be very powerful, and that's why actually I want to end with this. With Nimbus now is going to be very good, play important role in India to future the library in digital content. And I want to say that actually I want to assumption is that if Nimbus can implement that, like Nimbus app is there actually, it can be when Nimbus app is there, when they creating user profile, as soon as the user come in the library or maybe user log to Nimbus, definitely it should pop-up should come there actually new arrival. User have the profile, user have the his profile, you can say current content awareness, okay, awareness service there. He just have, if he create the profile, whatever automatically Nimbus should serve the content from the across the publishers and give the pop-up to him. These are the new arrival content received in your means obtained from the publishers in your area. Output research where it is, if you have the profile of scholars, is research where you work, that output should also give that, okay. And even in social media what is discussed there, like harvesting all where we discuss, that also Nimbus can popular to the users, and that maybe you can say this is a hypothetical statement from me. If Nimbus can do that in this integration, then that will be one of the great thing, and it should be collaborative research. So now finally I want to conclude this with this means future libraries is not going to be best based on their collection building or maybe infrastructures. So I want to say that future libraries is going to be best on the digital collections and how they provide digital services and digital knowledge of the librarians, and that only going to be future in the library. So with I thanks with this my keynote address because we already late, and I thanks to the Nimbus team, GIST and Mala organizing committee for giving me an opportunity for this means give keynote address, and thank you very much. Thanks to all. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. It was our privilege to hear from you. So people know you professionally. They know how a man of limited words you are. Maybe we might have met you, we might have spoken to you maybe about 2-3 times, but the kind of immense knowledge that just flew for the past 15 minutes, that it's splendid, sir. Thank you so much for such generosity in your words. I'm sure that this is going to benefit the other participants who are there in the platform, and being in and you being the one of the market leader where you have seen these information technology growth that is happening, and that is information literacy that you're managing in your institution. It's going to be it was already an inspiring speech, and it's going to inspire much more people than who are going to come in the future. As
Thank you, Venkatesh. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, as
Thank you.
Parija sir was talking holistically about the ecosystem, you just broke everything into pieces. You told about the tech, you told about the publication, you told about the library, how these are interlinked, how the library practically you gave us the information. That was wonderful, sir. Thank you for the knowledge.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Jadhav. You covered all the points, especially virtual speech, smart classroom, more downloads, data science, publication data, etc., which are very useful for all research scholars. Really, you have covered a lot. Very inspiring speech. I thank you, sir, for having come
Thank you.
and
Thank you, Doctor.
shared your experiences. Say federated search, consolidated search, etc., cloud search. You have covered all the points regarding the digital.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I
Thank
would,
you,
I
Nizam
would
Ahmed,
like,
sir.
I would like to thank Dr. Jadhav on behalf of Nimbus. Thank you very much, sir, giving us this opportunity to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Especially the technical points. We would love to share the same thing with our tech team, right? As you mentioned, if it appears, it's pop-ups when some new arrival happens and all, right? And probably we will have another technical call with the people behind us. right,
Thank you.
who are
Thank you.
Absolutely,
provided.
sir. Your
Thank you.
suggestions are well taken.
It is really, really amazing, right, to hear from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Please
thank
take
you very
care.
much. Yeah.
Thank you, Suhail sir. Thank you, Suhail
Thank you.
sir. So quickly, now Jadhav sir also spoke about Nimbus a little bit, and also now I will be wondering, because there are 146 participants, and we'll be wondering, okay, we are talking about there is someone who has hosted this. What is this Nimbus all about? I quickly want to take you quickly through the platform, and this is the platform of Tyagarajar College of Engineering, and with the due permission from Dr. L. Radha Madam and the management of Tyagaraja College of Engineering, the permission, I would like to show this platform to our participants today. Whenever we reach out to Tyagarajar College also, such open hearts they have got, they have allowed us, they have given us this freedom in terms of making this platform a robust one. We are serving more than 500 institutions, not just in India, but also, as Jadhav sir rightly said, even abroad. We are serving in Indian subcontinents, in Middle East, in Africa, in Ecuador. We are serving this platform. Even institutions with institutions of national interest like IITs, NITs, IIITs. What is that we do? Even the young colleges, the smaller colleges, who has got who wants to have an effective library, but then there was a budget. There is an issue. But for that, we need an indigenous product, as sir rightly mentioned, an Indian product which can offer in the budget that the library and our library and institution can offer quickly. The time and again we have been talking about, it doesn't matter, we might be having so much resources, the resources are spread across various sources these days. The resources are from your subscribed content, the resources are from your institutional repository, the resources are from the peer-reviewed open collection. There's a huge amount of open collection. At the same time, we also have Swayam, Shodhganga, EPG Pathshala, implement important links also is available. Now, how to make one single platform to integrate everything in platform so that a user gets easy access? For example, in a single keyword, like sir rightly mentioned, in a single keyword, I'm just signing in. I'm connecting from Bangalore. I'm using the library of Tyagarajar College of Engineering. I'm using artificial intelligence as a single keyword, and the system is fetching the result from across the source. Information literacy was time and again spoken by Dr. Parija sir also, and Dr. Jadhav sir also spoke about, and even our Venkatramani sir also initiated, saying that we have information from so many sources, but how are we going to make it in a platter to our users so that our return on investment, Jadhav sir rightly mentioned, the return on investment, the money that we spend has to give that return. The return here for the librarians is the usage. The more the usage, the librarians, the admins are so happy. How to attain that in the digital content is a quick demo. I've put in a keyword. Based on the keyword, the system itself has fetched from so many resources, and these are the resources it's fetching from. And based on this keyword, it has fetched so much of result, and it is also telling me that these results are subscribed and also open. The subscribed content our institution is paying to various publishers, and they're purchasing. That is also it's fetching, and a pool of open content also. For example, uh, I can also understand there are users who have joined from the arts and science college, there are young engineering college, there are schools who have joined. For them, we can curate the collection which is going to benefit them. Maybe arts and science collection, we have got arts and science collection, we have got engineering technology in the open say, in the open collection, because open content is spread across in the source so much that we need a platform which can curate and which can give the authentic information to our users, because Google does not give authentic authoritative academic content. Only a library can give an authentic content. As a library, we have curated the highly peer-reviewed academic content and the open content that those content can be accessed along with your subscribed content. You are also paying for certain content that can also be accessed with a single keyword. At the same time, it is also taking from institutional document. As I told you, in a single keyword, the system is fetching results from your subscribed resources, from the pool of open access resources, and from your own institutional repository. And right now in this situation, we have also integrated web opac to the platform. See, as a platform, Dr. Parija sir said the digital library should be sustainable in the future. And even Dr. Jadhav sir rightly said that this should be an open platform which can accommodate various technologies in the future. Yes, of course. This is a technology. This is the platform. It's an Indian platform which we have created to meet the future requirement, tech requirement of Indian libraries. The Indian libraries right now are facing various challenges, and we are solving those challenges. And the challenges can be anything. The challenges can be, sir, we want to integrate the online classroom. We want to integrate the institutional repository. We want to access the web opac also in the same platform. The requirement can be many. The requirement can be small, the requirement can be large, but a platform, a library platform should be able to accommodate and customize and personalize this platform so that this would be a robust platform for not just for the users, but also for the admins. As an admin, you can also, the librarians can monitor, regulate, fetch reports in detail about the institution. I cannot show the admin dashboard here because we have to show it with due permission. But yes, of course, we have Mr. Arvind and team in the platform who will also help you in person. If at all we want to take up in person the conversation, definitely we can do it. You can in touch with Mr. Arvind. His mail ID also will be mentioned in the chat box. You can make note of it and you can be in conversation with him. But at the same time, I would like to talk about this platform is a cloud-based digital library platform, and the clouds are in Microsoft Azure. And to be on Microsoft Azure, we have also accomplished various important parameters to be part of Microsoft Cloud. And we have integrated ebooks, journals, proceedings, conference standards, various type of content, because the digital content is not just ebooks and journals. The digital contents are proceedings, theses, dissertation, presentations, faculty notes, case studies, statistical data. We have also curated them by e-catalog, because cataloging, we have all mastered cataloging because we are masters of physical library. But e-library is something that emerging now, and we need a e-catalog where we have grouped the entire content that you have based on publisher, open content, and subscribed content. You can see here, for example, Tyagarajar College have got subscribed content. These are the subscribed content, and these are all been grouped in one.
Sir, not audible. Hello, Mr. Ramani? Not audible.
Sir, not audible. Venkatesh. Mr. Venkatesh.
Mr. Venkatesh?
Venkatesh, it is not audible. Arvind.
Hello.
Arvind?
Hello. Sir, is
It's
it
not
audible now?
Not audible.
Now audible. Now audible.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
proceed, please.
Sir, I'm very sorry, my voice got disconnected all of a sudden.
No
But
problem. No
nevertheless,
problem.
yes, we are not just talking about one type of content. We are talking about database, ebooks, journals. So as a digital library, e-library, because as we know that as a e-library, we should give that presentation, we should give that easy to access so that every user can use the digital library, because digital content is not just for research scholars and faculty members anymore. It is going to be for the first year students, even for the young students and researchers who are started their digital classes now. So with this quick brief of Nimbus, I would like to stop the session here. And if you have any questions on regarding to the platform, or if you have any questions that you have to the committee, because we have Nityanandam sir, we have Ramani sir, we have Jadhav sir, we have our team also there. If you have any questions, anything, you can let us know, and we will be more than happy to answer. Now we quickly go into the second section where we are going to talk about the question and answers. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to.
Venkatesh.
Yes, sir. Yes,
what
sir.
are all the package, whether you will be able to make a tailor-made package for a particular library, for the journals or databases?
Sir,
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. Sir, we understand that every institution is different. Every institution is different. For example, engineering colleges, there are different, their requirements are different. Every university is different. Every UG, PG colleges, every school library is also different. So we have to cater according to their requirement. For example, sir, Nimbus is also serving to Niti Aayog, the policy makers in India. We are also serving to research institutes like Tata Memorial. We are also giving it to various institutions and also universities, central universities. Every institution has a different requirement, and we accordingly we manage the package and the platform so that it's going to benefit their library and their users. It's not a single platform. Sir, in Tamil Nadu, if you could see, Satyabama, B.S. Abdul Rahman. In fact, I saw Panniselvan sir also have joined the
Yeah.
platform.
Yes.
SSN and PSG, Amrita, and there are many more. Ramakrishna. There are a lot of institutions already using Nimbus, getting benefit out of it, and it's important that we spread this good news to other libraries and the community also. That why not? Let's explore. Let's collaborate, because that's what is important. Going forward, we are going to collaborate each other. We are going to closely work together so that we can solve the challenge that we are facing in the present situation.
Yeah.
Have I answered the question?
One more question.
Yes,
Videsh. I could see in the internet that you are giving up for exams for like JEE, then GATE and other coaching. We are giving materials and all now.
Exactly.
Is it available, and you'll be giving to colleges, schools, or any institutions like that for preparatory examinations like JEE main, and as well as for other examinations?
Of course, sir. So the content, for example, this is a digital library platform. The content, that's what I said, sir, the requirement can be different. For example, the UG, PG colleges would like to promote the Public Service Commission exams or any exam related papers. So for them, we would like to create. For that, we would like to create that platform. We would like to customize that for the particular institution. The answer is yes, sir. We can integrate any type of content. In fact, sir, we are working with an institution in Dubai where we are doing it's a zoo, sir. It's not even an institution, it's a zoo. They have a library within which comes directly under the Kingdom of Dubai. And they are now planning to go for Nimbus, and they want to put up their content. Their content is extremely different. We are putting Arabic content. Sir, we are also in conversation with Central Library, Anna Central Library, we are in touch with. We are working Tamil, a multilingual platform. So, we are a very, we are in terms of collaboration, we would like to work closely with the institution so that the very purpose of return on investment, the usage will increase, sir. If we give one format to the entire country, this will not going to work. We have to give every institution a specific library so that it's going to help their users, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your question, sir.
Mr. Venkatesh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wish to add some more points, Really,
absolutely.
You highlighted so many points about the Nimbus. Yes, when I was in Hindustan University, we used to subscribe for Nimbus, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And your competitor, I think Informatics, Bangalore, right? They are providing easy proxy access, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I believe both the concepts are one and the same. Am I right?
Sir,
you both cover the same concept, and both are the competitors. Anyway, yeah. And what happens in your speech, you have covered all the digital contents, what are it's covered, everything you have mentioned, really. And you mentioned about Swayam, Shodhganga, and single keyword federated search. Through federated search, we can fetch all the information from the documents, from the e-journals, which are subscribed by the particular institution. Yeah, very interesting. And this is the need of the hour, I feel. As a president of the Madras Library Association, I feel Nimbus is a need of the hour. Nimbus is a digital platform where you can have search from the remote access, right? And for example, institutional repositories is there in each and every university, right? Which covers even the faculty's publication, project works, admin reports, etc., everything. At one stretch, we can search all these things in our house itself. That is called remote access. Okay, for example, you completely explained about Tyagaraja College of Engineering.
Yes.
What are they subscribing? The subscription of databases like IEEE journals and as well as ASME, ASCE, okay. And then ACM, Association for Computing Machinery Journal. Yeah, everything you have covered. All these databases are very costly. Normally, only universities can subscribe for these valuable databases.
Exactly.
Engineering databases, engineering subjects. Mainly just to concentrate on engineering subjects. Yeah, they forget about the arts and humanities, right? And yeah, it should reach the unreached also. But you are not at all considering arts and humanities.
No, no, sir, the very purpose itself is that only, sir, to want to, sorry to intrude, sir. We were taking your suggestion very kindly. Definitely, being the senior most and the president of Mala, you're placing this as a concern. Definitely, sir. We are going to, this time I am actually visiting Chennai, where I want to meet the UG, PG colleges, the young universities, young institutions. I want to talk to them. Certainly, your suggestions are well taken, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Like Dr. Jadhav suggested, you have to put new arrivals, current contents, collaborative research, like that. Yes, given suggestion. Like that, I am giving suggestion. Really it should reach the, say, arts and humanities libraries also. And not only that, you are customizing even for admins and faculties, everything. And e-books, standards, e-journals, theses, dissertation, statistical data, e-cataloging, everything you are grouping, entire content of the particular institution. They can access, once they subscribe for Nimbus, the users can access from the remote access all these contents, right? Very useful one. Really, I cannot forget when we used it and we enjoyed it. And that's why the merits of this Nimbus digital platform I'm just describing. The cost is, they can't afford to. Many institutions, their budget is shrinking. As Mr. Ramani said in his speech, budget is shrinking like anything in each and every universities and as well as colleges. And colleges cannot dream of these costly databases like Nimbus and Easy Proxy Access, etc. They're unable to purchase the database itself, where they can think of your Nimbus database, a federated such database, which is not at all possible for the simple arts and humanities colleges, really. Yeah, and price has to be considered. Yeah, it should be affordable price.
Sure, sir.
They have to bear with the cost of the Nimbus, so that they can implement in their universities. Yeah, price is very much,
Sure, sir.
purchasing lots and lakhs of rupees worth of databases like ProCourse database, Web of Science database, and not only that, but also Science Direct, which is very costly, published by Elsevier. Elsevier is known for popular journals. They are publishing, right? And their cost is also very much. A common man or a common user cannot reach. And he finds very difficult. He is hunting for these databases, very valuable databases. A user or a researcher can visit only to IITs and Anna University or Hindustan University, leading universities only. As you said, they are subscribing in Satyabama University and BSA University, Panir Selvam, you have mentioned everything, right? So people have to go there and access. Is it not? So
Absolutely.
the thing
Sir.
is, once the publisher also has to come down their price of the databases like Web of Science and as well as say Scopus, Science Direct, ProCourse database, IFSCO database. Not only that, but also LISA database. Like that, people have to come down their publishing price.
Ask about what is the
Anyway,
ask about what is the in the last 45 minutes. You cultivate the practice. Ask them to speak freely. Let them participate. And it is a big drawback at the time of campus season. And I'm
who is responding to my speech, sir? May I know the name? Hello, is it audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Sir, it's audible. You got a reverb, sir. Someone's speaker was on, so you got a reverb.
No. First of all, I must thank the authorities of GIST and as well as this Mr. Venkatesh and Mr. Arvind. They have come forward to enlighten the benefits and as well as credits of these Nimbus database. Really, we are very much thankful you have joined with us, and I am suggesting Mala is going to conduct an annual program in on 12th August, which is the birthday of Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. You can join if you are interested, and we will also give you a session. You can, time slot will be provided to you. If you want, you can give a demonstration come lecture there with all facilities. So just I'm suggesting this K is known for Nimbus digital library platform can be extended, and so that we are expecting about 200 librarians, library professionals from all over India. So it will be reach all librarians under one umbrella. Just I am suggesting, if you are interested, you can take my suggestion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, Venkatesh, one more thing. As Sir has suggested, or President Mala has suggested, why don't you think of a package, a moderate package for arts and science colleges with an optimum price, which will be applicable for the journals widely subscribed by the arts and science colleges, so that it will be useful for arts and science college and to subscribe for that.
100%, sir. Well
Yeah.
taken, sir. Well taken. Suggestions well taken. Of
Yeah.
course, sir.
Thank you.
It's a valuable suggestion because you being there, you are giving the right suggestions to us, and we have to adhere to the suggestions that's been given to us. Yes, sir. We will do it, certainly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now can we go on to vote of thanks session?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir. See, first of all, let me thank the SBB University Vice Chancellor, Registrar, and University Librarian Dr. Rajan. They have come forward to join with us, and especially Vice Chancellor has given this inaugural address. It was quite interesting and very informative. Yes, and I thank him first of all, and then I have to thank GIST, Global Information System for Science and Technology, right? They have their contribution to library is very much. Yeah, I have say 50 years of experience in the library profession. I am just observing. GIST is giving wonderful service. Whether I am not exaggerating, see, I am telling the truth. The service is perfect. Supply of journals, especially IEEE, ASME, ACM, right? These journals, whereas if we subscribe through other agents, like so many agents, I need not say, right? When we compare to other publishers, their service was excellent. We were enjoying just really. That in this juncture, I would like to say, right? And சார் ஒரு வெபினார் மீட்டிங்ல இருக்கிறேன் சொல்லுங்க சார் எந்த பேப்பர்ல வந்திருக்கு சார் நியூஸ் பேப்பர் எந்த பேப்பர்ல என்னைக்கு ஆமா பார்த்தேன் டிவில பார்த்தேன் பப்ளிக் லைப்ரரி எல்லாம் ஓபன் பண்ண சொல்லி உத்தரவு போட்டாங்க இன்னைக்கு பப்ளிஷ் ஆயிருக்கேன் டைம்ஸ் ஆஃப் இந்தியாவில். நான் என்னுடைய ஸ்பீச் சொன்னேன், என்னுடைய சஜஷன்ஸ். தேங்க்யூ சார். ஆமாம், எல்லாரும் டைம்ஸ் ஆஃப் இந்தியாவில் பப்ளிக் லைப்ரரிலாம் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கிது திறக்கணும்னு சொல்லியிருந்தேன். டைம்ஸ் ஆஃப் இந்தியா ரிப்போர்ட்டர் இஸ் இன்டராக்டிங் வித் மீ. இல்லை, நான் வெபினாரில் மீட்டிங் அட்ரஸ் பண்ணி இருக்கிறேன், வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. ரைட், தேங்க்ஸ், தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச் சார். ஒன்றும் இல்லை, ஜஸ்ட் day before yesterday, they interviewed me for public libraries to be opened in this pandemic situation. I just gave my suggestions. It has been published today's Times of India paper. Just see. Now, accordingly, they have opened. Even TASMAC is opened, but whereas public library is not open.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I mentioned in my contribution. It has been published. I have to see the paper. Okay. So, coming to this thing, next, Mr. Venkatramani, he has taken initiation in organizing this webinar, really. He interacted with Mr. Venkatesh and as well as Mr. Aravind and other authorities of GIST. Really, it is very, he has taken much efforts. I have to acknowledge his efforts in this juncture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, but because of him, this would not have been happened. Really, it's my opinion. And other things, And he has, whenever Mr. Ramani comes for any speech, anything, he used to prepare and deliver well. I got fed up out of large experience. I just simply, whatever I had experience, I used to simply share wherever, whatever lecture it is. That's all, nothing else. I know I have teaching experience, as a professor.
Yeah.
So whatever I have in my mind, theoretical knowledge, just I used to share. That's all. Teaching is easy. Practicing is very difficult. Yeah, that's why we have to appreciate librarians than the teaching professors, because they are all the field workers. Librarians are field workers, really. So I once again thank him, Mr. Venkatramani, for his efforts in organizing this webinar a grand success. Next, I already mentioned about our Vice Chancellor's contribution. Then keynote speaker, Mr. Karthik, Senior Regional Manager, GIST. Yeah, he has also given a very interesting and as well as informative speech. I thank him. And then keynote address is given by Dr. Mahendra Jadhav, librarian IIT. We know him for the last 1.5 decades, right? And he is our supporter of Mala, and he has also given a very elaborative speech covering all the points, how this Nimbus works, etc. He has given all the points. Money, how goes to the author and publisher, he has mentioned. And federated search facility is the special kind of this Nimbus. That is very important. Yeah, it will search all. Suppose Hindustan University is subscribing for IEEE database, ACM, ASME, ACE, all Procos database, Science Direct, etc. At a one search, single search, it will search all these databases and fetch the information in 1 second. That is the time-saving process, which is the fourth law of library science is served here. Well, and the digital presentation, Mr. Venkatesh has given elaborate, really, and he only started this point of organizing this webinar, joining with Mr. Ramani, Secretary of Mala, and I missed their team the other day when they met in a hotel. I missed them. Anyway, I thank them, and they have organized a very good webinar. And then, sir, question and answers we have put just a team, and we should give opportunities for the participants to ask questions. Participants nowadays, they don't come forward. It is ridiculous. Yeah. See, whatever they have listened so far, at least let them ask 1 or 2 questions. See, which means what? They have understood everything. Number one concept. Second concept is they have not at all understood anything. If they don't ask even a single question, that means what? Any student or any users find any or librarians, what it means? That means they have not understood the concept so far they have shared through this webinar. Number one. Number two, they might have understood all the concepts of, say, Nimbus, all these concepts of, then only they cannot ask. I'm very sorry to say, nowadays people, they don't come forward to ask questions. At least in chat box, let them ask questions. No, I don't know whether the stage fear or anything. Yeah, and also, see, arts and science people might have participated in this program, and they may not have such a background. Really, I tell you, the librarians working in engineering colleges will have more knowledge than, because I'm not comparing, just generally say, because they have opportunity with science and technology, engineering, databases, etc. So that's why, and the arts and humanities people, they feel shy and they are not coming forward to ask questions. Here in the program sheet, I'm having a program sheet in my hand, agenda sheet. So according to serial number 7, questions should be asked. Yeah, I think all the participants are listening to my talk, I believe. Why not you come forward to ask even a single question or 2 questions? Yeah, then only we'll be very happy. I am seeing so many chat box, I am seeing so many personalities, so many librarians, so many teaching professionals have participated in this program. but they have to ask some questions. Yeah, what is Nimbus? Why is Nimbus? How is Nimbus? Yeah, you should get clarified. And due to technical issue, there are so many here and there, some problems are there. But subject content, what for we have assembled, what they are giving as input, how we can use it in our institution. We have to carry something in our mind when we reach our home institution. Yeah, and apply for it. Yeah, like that, one should be there. That's how I have become to this level, for your information. Wherever I go, I will just take a note and note the points. What are the special features in a library? I will note down. Once I go back to my home library, I will implement it. So like that, we have got so learning is a lifelong process. People are not coming forward. A very pathetic situation. I'm sharing. Even now, I'm telling the participants can ask at least one or two questions. Yeah, with this great participant, this Nimbus authorities like Mr. Venkatesh and Mr. Aravind, they are giving, instead of giving demonstration like this, I am once again suggesting you have to provide demo come lecture
Yes, sir.
wherever. You
Yes.
may not join with Mala.
Yeah, that is excellent, sir. They have to arrange like that. One day program.
Like that. Demonstration you have to arrange.
One college, then we can invite all the college librarians, university librarians.
Practical class.
Yes.
Mr. Ramani mentioned in his speech NDLI program. You are covering all the databases like NDLI, NPTEL, National Program on Technological Enhancement
Yeah.
Planning. So many
MOOCs.
valuable databases, right? So such things, only see one need not see the elephant, but without seeing the elephant, one cannot explain about the various organs. It's very difficult. Yeah, same thing. They have to see what is Nimbus, why is Nimbus, how is Nimbus. Unless you give a demonstration, that is live demonstration, a hands-on experience platform like that. So people cannot understand. Only when they understand, they will be able to raise questions. Otherwise, they will not ask question at all. That is
So-
my
Sir,
Sir, once
there are
the
a couple of-
pandemic comes
there-
under control, they will arrange, sir. We will arrange in a college,
yeah.
inviting all the
As a
librarians. We'll
suggestion.
definitely do it, sir.
Thanking one and all for participating in this program. Once again, I thank one and all. Really, they have patience in listening everything, and the opportunity given for us to join, to collaborate with Nimbus. Really, once again, we thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you very
Such an
much.
honor and privilege to collaborate with Mala.
Yeah.
Valga Valamudan, sir. Valga
Thank you.
Valamudan.
Thank you. Valga Valamudan. Thank
Valga
you.
Valamudan, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank
Such
you,
a
sir.
wonderful
Thank you so
session.
much, sir.
Yeah. Sir, Nityanand sir is there online?
Yes, I am online.
Sir, you are talking about that federal research now, sir. The NDLI is a NDLI library is a repository, and it is using federal research only, because all the institutional repositories are integrated and made available through single window 24/7, and it is using federal research only, sir.
Because they are storing,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
storing, disseminating.
Yeah. We'll leave the meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
That information you have given, Ramani.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the participants. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful opportunities.
Thank you, Mr. Muthukumar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. My
Arvind?